Hey guys, Jamstrap here and welcome back to another Which Army Should You Play video. This is a series of videos I've been doing for every army in 40k, and in this case kind of Age of Sigmar as well. And I'll just go through kind of some of the reasons why you might want to and might not want to start an army. And as always, this is not about tournament plays and building up super powerful lists. This is just about the aesthetics, the hints at the lore, what's the army going to look like on the tabletop, that kind of stuff. And at the end I normally do a little section where I go through how you can get into the army a little bit cheaper. What are your discount options? So anyway, without further ado, without me jibber jabbering, as you can see, today we're doing Chaos Demons. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned we'll be going through like play style and stuff like that. But anyway, Chaos Demons is it's a weird army. It's probably one of the most unique armies in all of 40k for quite a few reasons, really. One that is the obvious thing is that, well, you're playing a bunch of demons. Like, I'm pretty sure most armies are either like humanoid based, okay, maybe apart from like Tyranids, but they're like aliens. So yeah, I don't know, I guess they kind of go with this as well. So yeah, when you got like humans and humanoid people fighting wars, then you just got a bunch of like demon monsters. That, and the other thing, it's a really good tip if you want to play Age of Sigmar and 40k, you can use this army for both, because Chaos Demons are usable in both settings. So I mean, that's a pretty massive option right there. And another thing that's also really cool about them is you got 4 different types of like Chaos Guards you can align yourself with, or all of them. So you've got almost like 4 different like aesthetics and play styles you can combine into one. They're, like I've said in previous videos, variety really is the key to having a great army you can stick to for a long time. And I mean, this is definitely one of the ones right at the top. So yeah, let's start with aesthetics. What are we looking at here? And well, like I said previously, you got all 4 Chaos Guardians mashed up into one army. So aesthetics are massively various. I mean, just sort of these graded demon kind of dudes right here. So you got your Nogal grey Unclean ones. There's like a massive festering blob of like fat and goo and stuff. Your Nogal is your tanky kind of art. You see, if you want a bunch of tough units, you got them. You got your disgusting guys. Then you got your Khorne, which is the god of hate and blood and skulls and everything. So you got these more classic Satan-y demon kind of things, horns, the red skin. Then you got Tzeentch, which is kind of your mind games and your bird-like creature dudes. A lot more about like magic and war powers and all that stuff. And then you get Slaanesh. Well, I can't really describe Slaanesh too much without, I don't know, getting this video taken down, I guess. But yeah, think about like top shelf magazines and videos you're not allowed to be watching and stuff like that, and that's pretty much what Slaanesh is, and they've kind of got that vibe as well, like you can see from this Keeper of Secrets right here. But anyway, I'll go into play style and stuff like that later and all that. But let's have a closer look at some of the models. And like these graded demons, I think these are like a great kind of epitome of what every single army is. So let's have a closer look at the Great Unclean one. And well, I guess he is what he says on the tin. I guess he's a pretty great unclean dude. He's absolutely massive. I mean, his price tag is huge. And that actually, on a tangent here, going into a different thing, one of the reasons why you might not want to go to the army, if you do like all these big demons like this, I mean, they've got a pretty hefty price tag. I mean, apart from like the big demons, they are a pretty horde style army. You do need quite a lot of bodies on the table. I mean, I'm not 100% on Chaos Demons. They've never really been an army I've looked too much into, but they do seem kind of pricey for what they are. I mean, I wouldn't say for what they are, because the models that you get are absolutely fantastic. I would love to get my hands on like this Bloodthirster or something. But anyway, back to the Great Unclean one. Have a little twirl around him. So yeah, he's massive, ripped up flesh, organs. Dig there, like he's got little versions of himself, and that guy at the bottom, he's got a little sword and stuff. So as you can probably tell, if you're not too squeamish, Nogal might be a nice army for you, because painting wise they're extremely fun. You don't have to be like a great painter, because obviously they're disgusting and oozy, so if you make mistakes and your painting techniques aren't very clean, it just kind of fits in with the aesthetic of the army. Of course, if you are a great painter, you can do some phenomenal things with this. But yeah, like I say, if you're not too squeamish, super cool. I think this kit can get built in different ways as well. Yeah, so there's some different versions. Yeah, there's a more like magic-y caster version. He's got a face coming out of his arm. Yeah, loads and loads of fun to paint. You can just slap on loads of, I mean, not just this guy, I mean all of the Nogal range. You just slap on loads of washes and colors. You can really like go crazy with them. You can do whatever you want to make them quite exciting. In fact, let's go guard by guard. Let's stick to the Nogal theme for a second. Now, some of the naming conventions and stuff for these guys are a bit silly. Like Spoilpox Scrivener, because he likes to scribble things. So yeah, he's pretty weird. You got the Garden of Nogal, these weird trees. Horticulus Slimex. So he's on like a weird snail dude. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with this thing. This one is extremely cartoonish. I can't remember that cartoon that used to be on back in the day where like monsters are real or something like that. He kind of reminds me of that. Lots of cool stuff here. Loads of detail. Like once again I said, Nogal seems like a lot of fun to paint. Or if you're not really into painting, it might be a nightmare for you, who knows. But I reckon if you use contrast paints on Nogal, super quick and you can get great details. I think they work really well for contrast paint, so that might be a plus for you. You get your plague bearers, which are your kind of standard troop guys for Nogal, super tough kind of dudes, and you get a couple of your like kind of HQ hero characters over here. Not much of a fan of the Beast of Nogal, to be honest. It's alright, it's okay. And that's kind of your aesthetic for Nogal. Just a bunch of very happy, jolly, disgusting, festering dudes that want to kill you, but they think they're doing a nice thing. Next up, Khorne. This is probably one of the most popular Chaos Gods, and I don't know, maybe a bit more of the traditional, like I said, but also one of the most badass ones in my opinion. So like I said, Khorne's all about bloodthirstiness and yeah, just ripping people apart, but it's also about honor. Just imagine an honorable warrior, but also, I don't know, he just wants to collect your skull. Kind of like Predator, actually, thinking about it. Predator's a pretty honorable dude. He doesn't kill people unarmed, but if you are armed, he's going to polish your skull and put it on his wall. So that's basically what Khorne is. So as you can imagine, lots of close combat with these guys. I should have said it as well. Nogal is also they're very tanky, but also close combat. And with a little bit of psychic power. I think pretty much all, like playstyle wise, you're looking at close combat and psychic powers with very minimal shooting abilities. Yeah, that's your standard troops there, the Bloodletters. Skull Taker, absolutely fantastic miniature. I'll get him up here. Yeah, like I said, there's Chaos Demons, you got so many options. I mean, look at this dude. I'm going to get this just for painting. 100%. That's Khorne right there. That's exactly what he's all about. Now your blood crushers and stuff, they seem a bit expensive, to be honest. £60 for like 6 dudes. I don't know, that's like £10 a model. Hopefully they're worth it. And that's Khorne. I mean, I guess I can't leave without looking at like Scarbrand over here. Yeah, Khorne definitely seems like the most badass one of the lot for me. Even though I've always been a bit of a Nogal fan. I've always like tanky units more than DPS, I guess, if you're thinking about it in like role-playing RPG kind of game ways. But yeah, let's go for Tzeentch, the god of mind games and weird little gribbly dudes and stuff. Now this aesthetic's a bit harder to put down because some ways they've got kind of like that bird aesthetic to it, but most of this army is a bunch of these, I don't even know what you'd call them. It's quite difficult because they all just, I mean, like those like weird manta ray dudes. Yeah, I don't know, that's just a misty changeling thing, and those, I have no idea what that is. Just like misty crab dudes. I don't know, they vary so much. There isn't, like, I'm guessing Tzeentch, being the god he is, this is probably going to be a very psychic and probably flame heavy. Like I said, I'm not 100% on Chaos Demons, like their full rules and everything like that. But yeah, very magic orientated, weird little dudes. And let's have a look at the Lord of Change over here. Not gonna lie, Tzeentch is probably my least favorite of the gods, so that's why I don't know too much about the playstyle. but you cannot deny Lord of Change is awesome. I've seen some great paint jobs of this guy. Can't go wrong with getting him, apart from unless you need to, like, I don't know, buy some food. And lastly, we've got Consular Nash. Now this is probably the most like horror film, body horror kind of demons out of the 4. Like, yeah, the rest of them, like Nogal, is gonna make you all diseased and rotten. That's pretty gross. Korn wants to, I don't know, collect your skull. Siege wants to use some magic and mess with your mind. But Slaanesh straight up just wants to torture you and wear your skin, and yeah, that's not fun. I mean, this right here to me is the epitome of what Slaanesh is. I mean, look at this thing. This demon, or demonette I should say, has got a harp coming out of this dude's body. I don't know if like that's his flesh they're using as the strings, and she got a little claw to play them. I mean, if that's not like nightmare fuel, then I don't know what is. Yeah, I think Slaanesh is definitely not for kids, let's say that. This is definitely a bit more of an adult-based 40k army. Like, his skin is literally molded into it. Yes, if you're into that kind of stuff, then yeah, Slaanesh is for you. Yeah, you know, lots of half-naked demon ladies with crab claws. I mean, this guy's pretty cool. Let's have a look at him. And of course, the Keeper of Secrets is completely badass. This guy kind of reminds me of the what's his name? The guy from 300, the film, the King dude. Yeah, it reminds me of that. Super cool. Don't know how tall this guy is, because if he's got like a demonette on the top of him, he must be a pretty big model. So yeah, that's actually a weirdly human-looking model, compared to some other ones. And of course, the Keeper of Secrets, one of the most badass and creepy models GW has produced. I mean, I love this thing. I mean, I would never get it because I don't think I could paint it to that standard, but it's creepy, but yet really intimidating, especially with that pose. Maybe not so much from like that angle, but from there, just, yeah. It's kind of that advancing walk where you know you're not going to be getting away from this thing. I'd say it's probably one of the most intimidating graded demons out of the 4. That's for sure. Okay, so we've gone through the kind of aesthetics and hints at like kind of the play style and stuff like that for the 4 different guards and stuff. Obviously, you can play all of these together at the same time, and I think you'd probably need to, because, like I said, they're not a very versatile army. They're not like Space Marines where you've got combat, shooting, psychic phase. These dudes are pretty heavy on psychic and like close combat with a very small amount of shooting. And I believe a lot of the units aren't too tough. So yeah, you definitely want to run up the board, smash people in the face as quick as possible. But I think if you want loads and loads of variety for collecting, and you'll never get bored, you can spend years collecting this army and never get bored. If this is your kind of style, then definitely. If you're a person that enjoys painting various things, once again, just like variety, also best army for you. And another plus, you can ally these guys in really easy with Chaos Space Marines or Death Guard or Thousand Suns, or eventually when World Eaters come and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you can splinter off into the Chaos Space Marine side of things pretty easy. Now that we've got a kind of a look at the aesthetic out the way, look at their playstyle, let's see how you'd get into this army. So what are your kind of budget choices? And luckily, another plus to this army, because you got 4 different armies smashed into one, you've got loads of different star collecting boxes. So you've actually got a star collecting box for every single guard alignment you got. So you got 4 budget choices to make a massive armies. If you buy all 4 boxes, you're going to have a large amount of models for loads of discount prices, if that's even words, I guess. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the Nogal one, what you get in here. So you get 1 set of the Noglings, so these little dudes here. Those are super fun. You got your little bloatfly guys. Got 1 pack of Plague Bearers and a little Herald of Nogal, I think. Yeah. So that's a pretty awesome start. If you want to go pure Nogal, I would probably venture as far to say you could buy that like 2-3 times. Get it started. Obviously get your battalion going. But I mean, if you're going Chaos Demons, I'd imagine you'd probably want to, I don't know, maybe go into different alignments or something like that. So next up we got the Slaaneshi box. And yeah, this this is a crazy one. So I think these are Seekers of Slaanesh. I'm not 100% sure. These are your anteater looking bird snakes or whatever. with demonettes riding them. So you get quite a few of them, get your demonettes, and of course you get this chariot thing. So that's a lot of crazy looking models right there for a pretty decent price, especially if you're buying it for 20% off at like your local store or whatever. Yeah, super creepy. And then of course you get Zinch, and you get once again quite a massive variety in here. You get whatever the hell this thing is, little manta rays with a little flying disc. I don't know, Zinch is a really nutty one. Can't quite figure out what's actually going on with it. Compared to like Khorne, where it's kind of like your classical demons, and this is just like, yeah, I don't even know how I would describe these things. Which is probably a good thing considering they're kind of like otherworldly space demons, so yeah, it's probably a good thing you can't define them. Yeah, you get all those little dudes, get whatever the hell those things are. Yeah, another sweet ass box of loads and loads of different stuff. And lastly, we've got the Khorne one, and I've been quite tempted to buy this for a while. So you get 3 blood crushes and your blood letters and your little cannon chariot thing. Yeah, these are a super cool unit. I think they look really intimidating and quite fun to paint as well. Blood letters, you know, don't know if some people might find them boring, but I think they look super cool. And of course this crazy ass chariot thing, which can be built in various ways as well. So you could probably buy this box set. I mean, I would buy this box set at least twice. Get more troops, you get another 3 of them, and you can build that in different ways. And lastly, as a kind of bonus starting point, if this thing is in stock while you're watching this, because I don't think this is going to be a permanent thing. I think it's just until the stocks last, but the Realm of Chaos, Wrath and Rapture. Now in this box you get Khorne versus Slaanesh. So this is actually a pretty good starting box here as well if you're interested in either 2 of these or both of them. So you get that cool harp lady there. You get loads and loads of units, really cool stuff there. And then this is everything you get on the Khorne side. Some of the little hellhound kind of things. Karanak, whatever that dude's name is, I can't remember now. Yeah, loads of options. So like I say, if you want if you want to collect either both of these, or you want to boost to getting all 4, this is a fantastic box to get. I mean, you can get that in one starter box or something like that. And like I said, if you really want all 4, you can buy all of these starter boxes as many times as you want. I think they're all pretty well rounded. So all in all, Chaos Demons, it's a pretty long video here, but there's a lot to talk about. Extremely versatile in the way you can play them. Okay, maybe, I don't know how versatile they are. I'm sure every god's kind of got their own stratagems and all that kind of stuff as well, so they make them a bit more flavorful. But just getting into the army seems very versatile. You've literally right now with these stocks, you got 5 different discount boxes to get you cracking. And eventually, if you want to fork out some bigger cash, you got these absolutely massive monsters to invest in as well, because they are big and they're awesome. But anyway, as I always do at the end of these videos, to kind of summarize, aesthetically you've got 4 completely different god types to align yourself with or go with. Also, you got your rotting dudes, your flaming angry dudes, your magic bird guys, and your creepy sensual demon dudes, I guess. You have loads of variety to get started, loads of start collecting boxes, loads of variety to build and paint and collect an army for years. You can align to different Chaos Space Marines really easily, and they're a pretty like psychic phase, close combat orientated army. So that's all your kind of your overview of the entire army right there. And if any of that stuff tickles your pickle, let me know down below if this has helped you out on choosing an army or not, or if it's pushed you away from it. And if you liked the video, you know what to do. And as always guys, if you enjoy this video or any sort of hobby content, maybe check out my channel and subscribe as well, because yeah, I release videos every single week. But until then guys, see you in the next one. Bye bye.